This is Fireballing Through College. Fireballing Through College. The actual hell we're doing because we're strong and independent women. Thanks.
Hey, this is your host Camila
and Catherine. Welcome.
So today's episode, we're going to talk about what we think were some of our freshman year mistakes. So hopefully you guys won't go through that.
Yeah, and I think we were this at the time we really felt like there were mistakes because we were kind of embarrassed, just felt weird about it. But now, I mean, we just look at them as fun stories and I mean, I wouldn't do the same thing again, but you live and you learn, and these are great ways that we've lived and we've learned.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I don't think I regret any of these. So let's talk about our first mistake, I guess. And I think this happened the first week, what we wore to Ultra the first time, like our first clubbing experience. And not even the first time, but maybe a few times after that as well.
For me, I'm pretty sure it was a few times after that.
So yeah. But also just wear what the fuck you want to wear.
That is the ultimate thing, is just wear whatever the fuck makes you feel good. E-ball has specific sense of fashion that I don't ever see color combos like that. It just goes against my brain, but they look literally so hot on her.
So hot.
Exactly. We're all okay, Elizabeth. She's putting together all of these outfits, and I'm okay, I need to step up my game sometimes. She's a fashion daredevil.
Oh, I like that. Yes, E-ball. But yeah, we do say wear whatever you want, but also, I mean, there is a sort of rule, you can't just wear sweatpants to the club,
I think that honestly, it's disgustingly sexist, because if a girl looks hot, then they're gonna let her in regardless of whatever the hell her dress code is. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, this next mistake is something I did with some other of my friends, and I don't think it's something usually people do. But so basically it was freshman year and we had to go to this meeting in a museum, and we were running late because we were taking the Vex and it was raining. There was a lot of traffic, and we started walking because we wanted to order an Uber. It would have taken 10 minutes for the Uber to get to where we were. So we were hey, let's just start walking. And then we start walking in the rain, and we stop at a light, and this guy next to us hears us complain about how we're running late and we have to go to this museum. What should we do? And he tells us hey, I'm just going to a museum next to that to pick up my wife. I can drive you guys there. And this was the second week of school, and I didn't know my friends that well. None of us knew each other that well, and we just looked at each other very nervously, and we were what do we do? And then he sensed that we were nervous, of course, and he showed us his government badge. He was I'm not a bad guy, I work for the government. Huge red flag. But we were
pretty much all bad guys work for the government.
And then I know me and my other friend, we were okay, we didn't say anything, but then one of my friends was okay. We just walk there very scared. We hop onto a van because this dude had a very sketchy van, and the van didn't even have a middle row. So let's say it's very sketchy, and he's oh, my van is this way because my wife is in a wheelchair. It just sounds like a bunch of bullshit and excuses, but at that time I was I mean, okay, I'm sure we're late, what else are we gonna do?
Oh my
God. None of us thought of texting our other friends being hey, this is my location in case. No, that didn't even go through our head because we're just dumb. So nothing happened, but I would never do that again. I don't recommend. It's totally stupid. Never hop into a stranger's car.
Yeah, unless you're gonna be late for your WL.
I mean, no, just don't. I'm I just want to slap myself at that moment. Why would I put myself in danger like that?
I think that kind of on that, with academics, there were definitely a variety of mistakes I made. Mistake number one being that I did not check out my professors on Rate My Professor before I took their class. That is just a freaking rookie mistake.
even if they have like bad reviews, like sometimes the reviews are good and like you can just get an idea of like what professor you're gonna have.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, all the ones that have had horrible ratings ended up being pretty bad professors, and all the ones that had fantastic ratings all ended up being fantastic. So I'd say it's pretty good for me.
I guess sometimes you can't, like you're too late to registration and you can't choose the professor that you want. So just like you'll just have to work a little harder, which is what I went through in organic chemistry. Love that.
Exactly. Sometimes you really have no other option, but like don't be stupid. At least like use your resources.
And I guess on that note, I had a professor my freshman year that gave us so many readings, like so many, and they were so long. And for the first 2 weeks, which Catherine makes fun of me because she was there to witness it, I would just like spend all night in the library. And after those 2 weeks, I know someone in my class complained that there were so many readings, and the professor was like, "Oh, I don't expect you to read all of those. Like, just read the intro and the conclusion, like, have an idea of the text." And I was like, "Sir, you did not say that on day one, and I've been not sleeping to do all these readings. So work smarter and not harder, I guess."
Absolutely. And there's really honestly a variety of classes that I mean, if freshman year I had to read everything for like my international politics class, my history class, like if I read all of those, I would like literally not have had any free time. Read the introduction, the conclusion, skim the reading, and then if you have a quiz or something or like a midterm or a final, just go back over your stuff, the stuff that was important that you talked about in class. But also like at GW, like specifically things that I didn't know at first, but like my friends taught me that are really good resources are the writing center, because you can basically give them any essay you have for any class and they'll review it for you.
Yeah, it's the best place.
It really honestly depends on who reviews your paper, because I had really bad people review my paper and I'm like, you're not being any helpful and I just feel like it's a waste of my time. But also like you can kind of get like who's good. If I ask Camila or Fran or Kayla like who they've had, who they felt was like really, really good, and you can go to them and it really is helpful to like go over your essay.
Yeah. And then office hours, which of course every college has. I know I was really scared to go to office hours my freshman year. And so I introduced myself to all of my professors. And just to like not make it weird, like I introduced myself and then I came up with a question to ask them about either the class, the syllabus, or just about their life, I guess. I don't know. But it's really helpful to have that relationship with your
That's so
professor.
cute.
Yeah.
Do you still do that or did you just do that
I did it
freshman
freshman
year?
year. I'm not gonna
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I did it freshman year. Still sophomore year, I kept a relationship with my professors. I know my psych professor. He's the love of my life. He's so good. I decided to major in psychology because of him, and I would go to his office hours a lot just to chat about
Oh,
psychology.
Camila, you need to shout him out if he's awesome.
Dr. Shell, take all of his classes. He is the best. The best. That's all I'm going to say. Like, you're not going to regret it. So, yeah, I just go to his office hours to chat about life. And also, when you talk to your professors, then you have someone to write you letters of recommendation. And it's hard in a big college because, like, there's so many students, and you have to find a professor that actually knows you well and can say more than, oh, she's a good student that gets good grades, you know?
Absolutely. I completely agree.
So yeah, and also it's not lame to like go to these workshops and writing center, office hours. Like it's college, you're doing like you're there, like yes, of course, to have fun, meet people, and I don't know, like have the time of your life, but you're also there to work on yourself academically and professionally.
Yeah, I think both are extremely important. And I mean, I wouldn't be who I am without like my academics. And I think that I've learned a lot. And I always feel like I want extra help and an extra set of eyes, like guiding me, especially somebody who knows what the hell they're doing, because I certainly don't.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, our next mistake. If you're clubbing, don't ever leave your friends alone.
especially if you like just met them, because I know plenty of times we went out to the club like our freshman year and we would see somebody that we knew them because like we lived together or like whatever. Um, we would see them and they might not be like okay, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like check on
It's
them
just like
as
we are
well.
women, we know bad things happen and we just have to be there for each other and protect each other. So what happened was our freshman year, it was like I don't know, like a fourth time going out. Like we barely knew each other.
Yeah, we barely knew each other.
And one of our friends, she was really drunk, and we lost her at the club. And she was supposed to be with this other friend that was her high school friend, and she was supposed to take care of her because she was really drunk, but she didn't, and we lost her. And we ended up looking for her in the club, like all over the club. We were so worried. And
Exactly.
where was she? Oh, she was outside,
Yeah.
just like sitting by herself.
Outside of just sitting by herself. Like, and we don't know how long we don't know how long she had been out there. Something bad could have happened.
I mean, like,
But I
yeah.
also remember we have seen, like, the first couple of weeks of college, people at, like, Crepe Away that were super drunk and, like, they needed to be walked home for sure, that we, like, had not gone out with them. So, yeah, just, like, check up on people, especially during the beginning of college, which, I mean, COVID, so, like, nobody's gonna be doing that, but for a little bit, but it's so important because everybody is, like, kind of has this sort of thing that they wanna, like, go crazy at the beginning.
And like, yeah, like we said, like even if you don't know that person, like this sucks, and it makes me so angry that women have to watch out. But if a woman is drunk by herself, like that's a very dangerous thing. And if you're a woman, just look out for her and just watch out.
Absolutely, 100%. Um, Another thing, like, along with, like, clubbing that's more lighthearted and funny is, we decided to go out, like, during finals week. It might have been after finals or, like, just, like, a
I think it was during finals, but like none of us had a final like in like 4 days, for
yeah,
example.
something like that. So we just wanted, like, a break, and so we went out, and there was literally no one there. As there there is never people there because everyone is smart and they're either sleeping or they're studying. Honestly, I remember they played the weirdest music. It was, like, the worst.
And there was like a birthday celebration going on because like everyone knew each other but us.
Camila was like, must have missed the invite. But I guess, like, our biggest embarrassing moment that we wish we had not done immediately is Spanish boy night. Dun dun dun.
I'm embarrassed because like I don't think I've told a lot of people about this night. I don't think I'm proud. I'm like proud but not
I'm
proud.
definitely not. Yeah, I'm proud but not proud because, like, it was just a defining moment to our freshman year that, like, we really learned a lot from.
But then we made friends with other people because of that moment. Shout out to Jordan.
Exactly. I know. Shout out to Jordy, but also shout out to Ebal because after
Yes.
that night we were like, okay. I was like, I guess we'll just have to be roommates forever. That's just
Yeah,
pretty
I
much
know.
it.
I didn't know our friend Ebal for that long before that night, but it was like, yeah, I guess we have this thing that's gonna bond us forever.
So basically, I can start the story actually
Because it's
I
embarrassing
kind of like
for
this
me.
part. I love this part. So we're on our way to this club, St. Eves, and one of our friends forgets her ID. So we are like, okay, well, we can't go in. So we just sort of, like, are walking around, and we're on our way to Crepe Away, which it's really not that late. So Crepe Away is not popping before 2 a.m. So these guys, it's like, I don't know, 6 or 7 of them are all speaking Spanish, which of course Camila's like, oh, what is that noise I hear? And she's like, ¿De dónde eres? And they all, like, start having a little, wait, sorry, that means, where are you from? Camila's like, oh, like, you're from Spain and you're from Colombia. And they're having, like, this little chat. And Camila is, like, a huge sucker, as we all are, for the Spanish accent. And then they're, like, walking and talking for a little bit, and they're all, like, you know, having a little conversation with them, kind of trying to chat with the rest of us. And then we break apart. They end up trying to go to the club, and we go to Crepe Boy. Yeah, we told them we were going to Crepe Boy, and Camila was, like, hyping up Crepe Boy. I was like, what are you doing, girl?
Shut up. I'll always hype up Crib Away.
And so, like, we get to Crepe Boy. It's obviously super lame because it's super early. And so we get our crepes and we're, like, trying to, like, we're just chilling, having a little chat. And then all 6 of them walk in. And Camila's like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed because there's, like, nothing happening here. But moral of the story is they get crepes. We all, like, sort of sit down and have a little chat. And Camila's like, She's like a really hot commodity in this moment. Like all the Spanish guys are like, "Oh, where are you?" Camila's like, "Oh, I'm Chilean, kachay, haha." And moral of the story is, they were like in the Air Force, and they were there for the weekend, and so they wanted to like do something with us the next day. And Camila was like, "Oh," and the rest of us were like, "Oh." So of course we want to hang out with all of these foreign men, which, to be fair, not many of them were attractive. That should just be like prefacing the entire story. I'd say half.
Not like two of them.
Two of them, yeah, two of them. So a third.
If you're listening, I'm sorry, guys.
Oh God, I really hope there's no way they're listening to this. But so we go home, and we're kind of like the next day we're kind of like,
So we invite them to our friend's dorm. Okay, wait. By the way, my mom was in DC.
Yeah,
I
I forgot about that part.
My mom was in DC, and I was like, "Mom, would you be mad if I go out?" And she was like, "No, go do it." And I was like, "Yay, okay." And we invite them just so we can like hang out, play some games before we leave to the club. So they arrive to our dorm, kind of late. I think by that time they were like, I think they drank.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they were like a little
Tipsy or drunk, I don't know.
Yeah.
And they come into the dorm and we start like playing fun games like truth or dare and shit like that. And like it was funny because like yeah, Catherine knows Spanish, but I don't think you were that fluent but when they came.
Oh, at the time I was like, what's happening right now? They were equally as fluent in English as I was in Spanish. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, so it was like
it was
me and Fran doing all the talking.
Which also at this moment I realized something very important that has also been proven real, is that foreign men are under this assumption that American women really like anal sex.
Oh, because they asked that question.
And all of us are like, no. Like, and they're like, what? No way. And since then, I cannot tell you the number of guys that are like, oh, but American women love that. I'm like, but I'm American and I can tell you we don't, you know? I'm sorry that porn is mostly made in America, but like that is not normalized here. Absolutely not. But yeah, we're playing game like, truth or dare, never have I ever. Yeah, so basically at some point, as one does, the lights started turning down. The mood was getting set, and they were like, let's just have like a little, they didn't really want to, I guess, go to a club. They wanted to just sort of make the club our room.
Then like one of our friends leaves, then like some other people from other dorms like join, like I don't know.
Yeah, so also like basically the music was really loud. We live in a very we don't live in like the party dorm at all. So they were like, what the heck are these girls
But we totally
doing
forgot there were other people outside. Like we were just having so much fun. Yeah, so like a bunch of girls from our dorm were like outside, like being all judgy and being like, oh, what are they doing? Yeah, people were like, okay, you guys have to leave. Like the music is so loud. It was like 2 a.m. And we were like, okay, let's
so everyone was also sort of under this idea that they're in charge of like what we do. This guy was there who's a boyfriend of one of the girls that lived in our dorm. And
God, this story makes me laugh.
It makes me laugh, but it's also so stupid. He was in the Navy. He puts on his naval uniform.
Yeah, this little boy with his Navy costume.
So basically we called that the costume. Assert your dominance and like let all your testosterone out by putting on your little suit. And he comes in and he's like, I need to these guys need to leave. Blah, blah. I'm like, ew.
Also, these guys are in the Air Force, sir.
What's so funny is this guy's like, he assumes that they're just here, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He's being extremely racist. And all of them are also a part of the military. Like, what do you want me to tell you, bruh? Like, the rest of the countries in the world also have a military. You're not special. So they also have costumes. They're just not fucking wearing them. And he also says they need to leave because they aren't taught about sexual assault the same way we are in America.
God, that's so racist. If I had heard that night, I would have punched his face. Because, who are you?
Oh, that's so racist. those men were not doing anything wrong to any of us. That was not.
Yeah,
that
why
was-
do you assume that we were in danger? Like, why do you assume that because we were making out with other guys, like we didn't want it? Like, you're trying to act like you're all feminists, trying to protect us, but like what you're doing is the least feminist thing on earth.
The idea that he thinks that men in America aren't taught about sexual assault, that is just a full-on joke. Oh my God. So that was absolutely disgusting. During the night, one of these guys like left. And while he left, this girl told us that he had thrown up everywhere. So we're like all like very concerned that this guy is like sick somewhere. Yeah. And so we're looking at all of the staircases and there's literally vomit nowhere to be seen. Like she was like, "Oh no, it's everywhere. Like he's so sick." Everything's gone. Like there's literally nothing there. It's just like blank. So this girl has sent us on this like wild goose chase at some point. And we're all just like, what is going on? Like there was really nothing that big of a deal happening. I think we were all just like so freaked out because everyone else was freaked out. So we were kind of just assumed we were in the wrong, but absolutely not in the wrong. We are all like in this women's leadership program. And I mean, like we all felt like really judged at that moment.
Which to me just sucks because you're in a program where you're supposed to be supported by other women and they were just judging us. And like it's just not good.
Exactly. And I at least
Toxic.
I feel like most people also finally realized that it like what we had done was not wrong and that like it was just sort of like blown out of proportion because they weren't like actually there, so they didn't really know what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't consider it a mistake. I definitely at the moment I did think it was a mistake. I was embarrassed, I guess, by all the judgment from everyone.
I'd say like literally the next day we were all like in the library and we felt like we woke up the next morning to get breakfast. Like people were like looking at us and like whispering about us. I was like, ew,
yeah.
no. But also, moral of the story is it was a fun night. It really was a fun night. And it's a thing that men who are from foreign military bases come and study in America and they all get to go on a free trip to DC. So, you know what that means. When COVID is over, I better see people be like, if you speak another language, if you speak German or French or Spanish or whatever, you better ask them, like, where are you from? And invite them to Crepe Away and then hang out with them because
Relieve our moment.
you can bond with your freshman friends and then you're just like bonded forever. I think that's the moral of the story. Just get foreign military men to help you bond your friends. Thank you. Yeah, that was today's episode. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yeah.
Hope anybody liked any of our stories. And if you can relate to one of them or find any of them a little funny, just let me know your thoughts, guys.
Yeah, we love you all.
Yeah, love you. See you again. Bye.
See ya.